Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is January 16th, 2024. So, in this video, we will look at who we think is going to go to the upcoming Super Bowl. I'm going to give you guys the two picks that I have, and I'm also going to make a decision on who's going to win the Super Bowl. So, just want to wait for a few more people to join us. And after my presentation, I'm going to open up the phone line so you guys can call in. I think the number should be on the screen. It's 646-986-0958. But please wait till the presentation is over before you guys call. Okay, so let's get right to it. So the two teams that I have the Lions playing the Ravens in the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 58 will be Lions versus Ravens. And there's a couple of things that made me, come to this conclusion. So, first thing is, if you guys remember, on October 22nd, these two teams played each other. And look at this. From that game where the Ravens beat the Lions in a blowout, 38-6, I think it was. From that game, which was played on October 22nd, 2023, to February 11th, 2024, which is the date that Super Bowl 58 will be played. That game came 112 days before the Super Bowl. And, of course, that's a big number because Super Bowl equals 112 in Gematria. But that's not everything. On Patreon, I put up a lot of notes. I'm still researching. So if you guys want to wait until, a week from now or 2 weeks from now to put in your futures, you can. But we only up to the divisional round. Actually, no. We up to the divisional round. We still have the conference championship left. If you guys want to wait until the 28th to put in your future, you can. You're still going to get good odds because, there's still 8 teams left in the playoffs, right? So, if you do it now, you're going to get even better odds. But if you wait till next week, it's still 4 teams, and you're still going to get some pretty decent odds. But, if you want, if you like the information that I'm providing to you guys in this video, you can put it in your future now. Take the Lions to play the Ravens. I'm actually picking the Lions to win the Super Bowl, believe it or not, and I'm gonna explain why. So the Lions head coach is Dan Campbell, who used to play for the Lions for most of his career, and now he coaches that team. If you guys notice his birthday, he was born on April 13th. April 13th, and of course that's the 104th day of the year. So I think it's perfect for the coach, born the 104th day of the year, to play in the Super Bowl. That concludes the 104th NFL season. And if you guys notice up here, let me just zoom in so you guys can see. This is his coaching records. He has 29 regular season wins and 33 regular season losses. He has never lost in the playoffs, and I don't think he's going to lose because obviously I got him winning the Super Bowl. So I expect him to stay on that 33 losses for his career. And right now he has 30 wins for his career. 29 in the regular season and 1 in the postseason. That's 30, right? He needs to win 3 more games to win the Super Bowl. He needs to win the divisional, the conference championship, and then the Super Bowl, right? So that's 3 more games. So think about it. If he wins the Super Bowl, his record would be 33-33. And of course, Sunday equals 33. He could pick up that 33rd win Super Bowl Sunday. And this is the 58 connection that a lot of you, asked me for. A lot of you say, what's the 58 connection with Detroit? I don't know. I don't see it. What's the 58? How does the 58 connect to the city? Because if you guys notice, in most of the years, the town or the team or the city that's in the Super Bowl, they have a connection to the number of the Super Bowl. We've seen this a lot throughout the years. And this year is Super Bowl 58. And, of course, Detroit, Michigan, the way it's spelled on the envelope, it equals 58. So does Baltimore. So they're going to have the 2 cities that equal 58 playing in Super Bowl 58. Right? This is just my prediction. I mean, it doesn't have to go this way. But this is what I like because, these are the patterns that have worked in the past. So, I'm going to go with this. Like, think about the year that Tom Brady went against the Rams in the Super Bowl. It was the Patriots versus the Rams. The 2 teams, the 2 cities with the 53 connection. ended up playing the Super Bowl 53. Right? Los Angeles equals 53, and Patriots equals 53. Sometimes it's not the city, sometimes it's the name of the team, but somehow, some way, they put in that they connect the number of the Super Bowl to either the team name or the city name. And in this case, not only does the city equal 58, but the coach that coaches his team also has to connect to the Super Bowl. Because he was born on the 104th day of the year. And again, think about it. Detroit, which sits on the 42nd meridian, can play the Super Bowl can be in the Super Bowl on the 42nd day of the year. They can they can finally reach the Super Bowl on the 42nd day of the year because they've never been to the Super Bowl before. The Detroit Lions, and they can win their first Super Bowl on the 42nd day of the year. The city from the 42nd meridian, and that makes a lot of sense to me. If you guys saw the wild card game, they kept showing Eminem, and another pattern that I've documented is how they always try somehow, some way, they always put in the rappers in connection to the championship game. And when you think about Detroit, who's the number one rapper you guys think about? It's Eminem, Marshall Mathers. And notice, if he was born on October 17th, 1972, right? On January 28th, the reason I mentioned to this date is because January 28th is the date that's the date of the conference championship. So that's the day that the Lions can clinch the Super Bowl after they defeat the 49ers. So they could beat the 49ers on January 28th on Eminem's 104th day of his age. Again, this is the 104th NFL season. What I really love about this matchup is this right here, though. On October 22nd, 112 days before the Super Bowl, these were the two teams that were playing each other. The Lions versus the Ravens. And I don't think that's a coincidence because if you look up, let's look up the NFL schedule for October 22nd. There wasn't a lot of teams, there wasn't a lot of potential Super Bowl matchups that played that day. Let me show you. Remember, they did the same thing in the NBA last year when they had the Heat versus the Nuggets on 2/13, and then those two teams ended up playing in the NBA Finals when the NBA Finals is 2/13, and the NBA Finals began on Eric Spoelstra's 213th day of his age, 213 days, and I think it was, I got a measure from 213 to the NBA Finals that year. What was it? It was another significant number. I think the Finals was on 6-1. Was it 108? What was it? Yeah, man. I forgot what it was. I forgot. Hopefully it comes back to me before the video ends. But yeah, so again, but the point I was trying to make is, they do this in all the leagues, right? So they had the Heat play the Nuggets, the two teams that was going to eventually play in the NBA Finals. They played each other during the season on 2/13 when the NBA Finals equal 2/13, and they had the NBA Finals scheduled on Eric Spoelstra's 213th day of his age, similar to what they're doing in football. And then, if you really think about it, just think about the mockery with this, right? Think about the college championship that just passed, right? They had Michigan, right? They had Harbaugh win the national championship with Michigan. And now they can have Michigan in the Super Bowl against Harbaugh. I mean, that makes a lot of sense to me as well. But let's go to October 22nd. So this was the football schedule on October 22nd, 112 days before the Super Bowl. So look, all these matchups, not like the Browns are eliminated, right? The Colts, I don't even think the Colts made the playoffs. Bills and Patriots, no, not a potential. None of these are potential Super Bowl matchups. The only potential matchup here that's still alive is actually none of them because the Dolphins and Eagles are also eliminated. Yeah, the only one that's still alive is this one. The Ravens and Lions. What a coincidence. And if you guys notice, the Ravens, they began, they came into this game 2-0 at home. Actually, 1-1 at home. And they won and became 2-1. The Super Bowl is on a 21-day numerology. And if the Ravens do lose, they'll be 2-1 in Super Bowls on the 21 day numerology, which is February 11th of this year. So they can become 2-1 in Super Bowls after they lose to the Detroit Lions. I'm saying this is not. I'm not guaranteeing this. I'm just gathering up all the clues and presenting it to you guys, because I really think that all this cannot be a coincidence, right? The way these two teams connect to the college championship, the way it connects to the cities, right? So both of these teams have a 58 connection. The Lions coach, born the 104th day of the year. We just had a Harbaugh win the national championship. We can have another Harbaugh in the Super Bowl championship in the NFL. Both of the teams connect to the number 42 in a way as well. I mean, think about the black quarterback and then the city from the 42nd Meridian. What else? Eminem, right? The conference championship will be on his 104th day of his age. And then, think about how much they love the number 33, right? Dan Campbell can become 33-33 if he wins Super Bowl 58. Okay, let's see. What else? Yeah, but I forgot what it was with this right here. But from the day that the Heat played the Nuggets to the finals, it was a number. I don't think it was 108, though. But there was a significant number. I forgot what it was, though. And I don't think I have it in my blog either. So the Ravens, they blew out the Lions 38-6. Think about it. The Lions are gonna be underdogs. They're favorite now, right, against the Buccaneers. But if the 49ers do defeat the Green Bay Packers, which I am expecting that to happen, they're probably gonna be underdogs in the conference championship and in the Super Bowl against either of these teams that make it. Even if it's not the Ravens, even if it's the Chiefs or Bills, I think they'll be underdogs, whoever they play in the Super Bowl. But I do expect them to play the Ravens, and they'll definitely be the underdog versus the Ravens. I think the narrative will be that they have no Super Bowl experience. This team has never been here before. Same old bullshit that they give us every year. So yeah. So now, if you guys want to call in and tell me what you guys think about all the stuff that we pointed out. If you agree to disagree. I put in a bet earlier today. Let me show you guys the bet that I made. I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm just saying that it would make sense to put. You don't have to go big. Put a little $50 if you want. Whatever you guys can afford. You're gonna make a lot of money if it comes through anyway, regardless of what day you decide to do it. Just try to do it before Saturday, though. So you see the Lions to win the Super Bowl is plus 900, right? But you can actually get way better odds than that. And then just think about this, right? Look at this. Super Bowl matchup. Ravens versus Lions is the favorite pick. But yet they have the Lions all the way down here. That doesn't make any sense. But right now, look, the Super Bowl matchup will be Ravens and Lions. You can catch this at plus 750. Why is this the top pick on FanDuel? But yet the Lions are not even favored to win. Are not even top 3 teams to be favored to win the Super Bowl. Doesn't make any sense. Actually, no. Actually, I'm wrong about that. I think the Bills. I'm wrong about that. So it's actually the Bills and 49ers the top one. They have at plus 390. Actually, no. So they got the 2-1 seeds, the other favorite. 2 plus 230. So it's actually the Ravens and 49ers. Okay. So yeah, so this is another bet that you guys can make and still, cash in some good money. You know what it was? They confused me because they have it at the top of the list. But it's actually the 49ers and Ravens the 2 favorite teams to play each other in the Super Bowl. Okay, so look. If you don't have to pick the winner, You could just pick the two teams that I said in the video to play each other on February 11th, which is Ravens and Lions. You can catch that at 750. Right? And that's not a bad bet at all. Doesn't even matter who wins. Even if the Ravens win, Lions win, doesn't matter. At that point, you'll still be making some money. You can make $375 if that matchup does end up being the two teams in the Super Bowl. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of money. From 50 to 375. Now, if you pick the Lions to beat the Ravens, that's at plus 1,600. That's even better. Definitely way riskier than having just the two teams in there. But look at that, plus 600. That's not bad either. You don't even have to bet a lot. You put $20, you win $320. These are the type of bets I like making. You know, low money, big payout. And it's not like we're just picking these two teams out of thin air. Again, there's a lot of information that supports these two teams playing each other, right? All the stuff that I just pointed out. Now there are a bunch of other narratives. Something that one of my patrons pointed out is this. I'm gonna share it with you guys. I don't love it, but it is a good observation. I want to give that person a shout out. Shout out to Anthony on Patreon. He made this observation about the Indiana Jones films. He pointed out how every time Harrison Ford puts out an Indiana Jones film, the 49ers end up winning the Super Bowl. And then I looked into this, and then I saw that in Super Bowl 29, they even had an Indiana Jones halftime tribute. The halftime show was a Indiana Jones performance. So, and I looked back to see all the Indiana Jones releases. Let me show you all the Indiana Jones films, the years that they came out, and it is true. Every time Harrison Ford put out a film, Indiana Jones film, the 49ers won the Super Bowl. Look, 1981, 49ers won the Super Bowl. 84, I think it was the 83 season they won the Super Bowl. Let me just see. Yeah, so they won the Super Bowl in 85, but that was the 84th season, right? They won the Super Bowl in 82, but that was the 81 season, right? And Indiana Jones came out in 81 and 84. Another film came out in 89. They won the Super Bowl in 89 as well. And the reason he pointed this out is because last year, in 2023, another Indiana Jones film came out. So again, I'm not in love with this, but this is a very interesting observation, and it's funny because the first film was called Raiders of the Lost Ark, and the Super Bowl this year will be played at the Raiders Stadium. So this is definitely something that I was looking into, but like I said, I'm not in love with it. I'm not in love with the movie connecting to the game, because that has burned me in the past. Just looking at other things that. It just, I don't know. I don't remember a lot of Super Bowls being paired up with films like that and actually coming through. Like, I mean, this is interesting though, because I'm look at that. These 3 years, it was obvious that they was lining up these films with this game, because think about it, they even had an Indiana Jones halftime show. So maybe it was relevant in these 3 years, but I think the pattern stopped after that. In 2008, it wasn't the 49ers who won. It was actually the Patriots. Actually, I think it was the Giants. So the pattern stopped. So I don't know why would they continue here if they didn't continue it here. Now, if the 49ers would have won the Super Bowl in 2008, I would have definitely considered this a possible narrative. But the pattern stopped in 2008. So I don't know what will make them jump from 89 to 2023. But again, the 49ers is definitely one of the favorites to reach the Super Bowl this year, but I don't think it's going to be a repeat of Super Bowl 47, like I said in my last live stream. All right, so if anybody wants to call in, the line is open. Other than that, I wish you guys the best. Good luck. Just know that you guys, as you guys can see, it's not always who you think it's gonna be. I mean, they showed you guys that in the wild card rounds. A lot of you thought it was gonna be the Eagles. A lot of you thought it was gonna be the Cowboys, the Browns. A lot of upsets. They're letting you know that it's never who you think it's gonna be. A lot of you think it's gonna be the 1 seed versus the 1 seed, and then gotta look at the deeper stuff. The stuff that they put in front of us. I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm just saying that when I make a decision, I don't base it on what the public believes, because it's always it's almost never that, ESPN is pushing this narrative that the 49ers are going to play the Ravens. All the networks, all the major sports networks are doing it. All right, so since nobody wants to call in, I'll end it there. Good luck with your bets this week. I'll definitely have the picks ready for conference championship. I'll really give you guys, the results of this game and this game. Obviously, I have the Ravens being the Texans and the Lions being the Buccaneers. But I really think one of these two teams are going to be upset. Because I don't expect all the favorites to win next week. So we might see 49ers get upset. Or maybe the Bills get upset. But one of these not all the favorites are going to win. We saw that in the wild card round. All right. So good luck, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace.